he concluded that the root of the problem was not malice, but stupidity.
Welcome. Thanks for joining me. I got a good video for you today. I think it brings up a really crazy question, which is when they're saying that people don't trust the news media, who is it they don't trust? Because the Republicans should have wiped the floor with the Democrats based on the economic principles of our country. So it makes me wonder what message people aren't believing and what message people are believing. So let's roll into it.
Only 16% of Americans say they have trust in newspapers, and a mere 11% have confidence in TV news. Should this be any surprise? The media was so quick to dismiss all the reporting about Hunter Biden's laptop.
People only believe 16% of the news that's being told to them. So why did they vote the way they voted? And that's the scary number behind what the Republicans, I don't think, are seeing, is that if the vast majority of the American people don't trust the news media and what the news media is saying, we should be asking the question, is it the conservative news that they don't believe? Are they buying Democrat lies lock, stock, and barrel? And it seems to be, based on the election and based on these statistics of distrust in the media, tell me that it's the conservative media that people don't trust, and they are buying the mainstream drive-by narrative. And they're buying it so heavily that the Republicans can't even get a proper message out because people are so believing of the lies and so believing that there's an actual threat to democracy from the Republican Party.
We've had so many stories debunked that we wonder who's telling us these stories and why are they telling us these stories and where are they getting their information? And if it's not true, why are they printing this information?
The stories aren't meant to be believed by everybody. They're just meant to be believed by a base of Democrats who hate Republicans regardless, and all it becomes is more fuel of hatred. But the real reality is these stories are being told even though they can be debunked, because the people who will believe them will automatically believe them, and no matter how much they get debunked, it doesn't matter. It's about keeping the base in line. And the Democrat base is kept in line with a strong dose of lies on a regular basis that they believe to be truth. And no amount of truth in the world will convince these people of anything else. And so all they have to do is keep piling lies on top of lies, and many people will believe them. It's not about all of us who already don't believe them. We already know that what they're saying are lies. But it's not about us. It's convincing a few people that will never check into it, or keeping the people in line who will never check into it.
The delay between what we see and what we know to be true and the liberal media, and they get that label because it seems to only happen counter a narrative that exists for them.
And I think right there is where it's most important, is that we are, again, assuming from rational minds, from logical minds, that when we find out evidence that disproves something, that now becomes a lie. But it's not about convincing people who already know it's a lie. And so they're appealing to their base and not to the truth. The truth is irrelevant to the narrative and the story that they want to tell.
So why are they so slow to call stuff out when it's blatantly obvious? I mean, you start to lose trust. That's what children do. If you don't say that this is green, they'll believe any color is green.
Yeah.
And therein lies the point and the biggest problem, is that they don't care what they teach our children. They don't care what children know, and they don't care what people know. All they care about is getting elected. And whatever that takes for them to get elected, the media will help them do that. because it is about beating Republicans. It's not about leading our country. And it's definitely not about leading our children or teaching people facts. It is just about getting elected at all costs.
67% say journalists are purposely is the word, trying to mislead people by saying things they know to be false. So it's not just we don't trust you, it's we believe you're actively making things up.
So when we see that 67% of people believe that the media is lying to them, and the Democrat Party won so big compared to what they were supposed to have lost so big during the last election, that suggests to me that the Republican Party is the people that they think are lying. The Republican news media are the ones that they think are lying. The conservative side of the aisle is what people think are lying. The Fox Newses, the Newsmaxes. That's who people, I think are lying. Or they voted against their own best interest, which they've been known to do. But in this case, they think people are lying to them. And then you see from the exit polls that people were tired of hearing about election fraud. So it makes you wonder if people thought that the whole story of election fraud is just made up, and the continuing pushing of this narrative, regardless if it's true or not, was hurting the Republican Party and is making people believe that the news media is making stuff up. We assume that when they talk about news media, that they're talking about the mainstream drive-by media. But between the election exit polls, the election numbers, and this suggests that the American people are turning against conservative news.
I mean, we have the reason for why this is the case. Pew polled 11,000 journalists, and what they found was this, that 55% do not believe that every side deserves equal coverage. They said it outright. It was 12,000 journalists who were polled. Wow.
This is scary now because this suggests that the misinformation being led by the drive-by media is actually getting people to believe the lies. They believe the lies, they're selling the lies, and the American people are buying the lies, and that is scary. People are believing it because it's being told enough, and the media doesn't even think that they should have to tell the narrative equally. So, of course, we're going to end up with a whole population of people who only believe lies that they've been fed by the people that they've been told they're supposed to believe, and the people that they're told they're supposed to think are lying to them are actually telling them the truth. Thanks for hitting that like and subscribe button. Thanks to all my new subscribers. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching. Later.